Now this is refreshing. Sailing into port like normal people.
Well done, boy. The sharks are gonna go hungry tonight.
Yes, I'm glad.
This won't be a problem, docking a pirate ship here?
So, how were the northern seas, Eisen?
Helavis and Vortigern are in ruins. Trade with Northgand will likely be disrupted for quite some time.
Well, I like the sound of that. I'll have to act quickly.
Any word of the captain?
Aye. It's an old rumor. But they say Captain Eifried was sent to Titania.
The island prison overseen by the exorcists, huh? We'll have to look into that.
I registered your vessel as one of our merchantmen, same as always. But even so, stay on guard. There's a grand ceremony being held in Logres. Lots of watchful eyes about.
I see. So they exchange information for mooring.
Information. For mooring?
Having the latest news gives merchants a chance to make favorable trades.
So it's worth protecting a pirate.
I bet Eisen and his crew have connections like this in nearly every port.
Not even the Abbey's iron decrees can withstand the force known as human greed.
I see.
Don't bother going to Titania. You won't find Eifried there.
And how do you know that?
Because I escaped from there. And before I did, I heard something from the prisoners. They said Eifried was the only prisoner to ever get out alive, and that he was taken by an old exorcist named Melchior.
Lord Melchior is an elder legate at the Abbey. He should always be present at the headquarters.
Don't call him Lord.
Von Eifried's our captain. It's starting to look like his disappearance has connections with the highest levels of the Abbey.
Their headquarters should be in the capital, right?
Yes, at the Royal Villa in Logres. I've never been there, though.
And Velvet, your business is with a man in the capital, right?
Looks like we're all headed to the same place.
I won't apologize for involving you.
Usually I'm the one who says that.
With wild demons this close to the capital, the Abbey must have had its hands full.
Eisen, what did he mean by a Code Red demon?
It's like a most wanted list for demons. From the latest I've heard, there's around 10 such demons across the territories.
Oh, they sound pretty tough.
That would be putting it lightly. Suffice it to say, you wouldn't want to face one unprepared.
Then we'd best be prepared.
Let's get going. While we're wasting time here, the Abbey is digging in.
Wow. Those walls. They're so huge.
That's Logres, the capital of the Empire. They keep demons out by enclosing the city within a great wall.
Humanity has achieved great things on the backs of slave Malachim.
Why the surprise, Laphicet? You've been here before, right?
I have. But back then, I was not who I am now.
I see. Tethered Malachim aren't even allowed the freedom to observe their surroundings.
We'll soon lose such freedom ourselves.
Huh?
We've reached the heart of the Empire, and of the Abbey. Soldiers and exorcists are stationed all around. This is no place for a collection of villains like us.
I'm not looking for a place. All I need to find is Artorias. That's it. An inspection.
They won't inspect everyone. Just act natural.
Your face is all stiff.
I know.
You, in the black coat. Show me your documentation. Well? Your travel permit from the Abbey, where is it?
Foolish girl, how many times have I told you? A magician's apprentice must wear a pleasant grin.
Magician?
Verily, I present to you the traveling troupe of mischievous misfits known across the land as Magilou's Menagerie.
Entertainment for the ceremony?
Why, yes, indeed we are, my dear. Please pardon my uncouth apprentice. Girl, allay the good man's fears and show him the dove trick you've spent all these weeks on. Go to...
Huh? Oh, sorry, mistress. I forgot to prepare.
You pathetic little shirker! A proper performer is perpetually prepared!
It's fine. Doves flying around would be a nuisance.
No, this will not do. If you cannot summon a dove, then act like one. Act like a dove!
Cuckoo.
Remember, Muggy-Loo's Menagerie manufactures mirth. That was just a small sample for the good citizenry of Logris.
Hey, you can't advertise here! Move along!
As you say.
That was a fine ploy, Magilou.
Well, don't expect tricks like that every day. Cuckoo. Oh, that murderous gaze! Cuckoo!
Those doves were amazing!
Just a crude trick. If anything, it just shows the capital's defenses are pathetic.
More like it shows how much confidence they have in those defenses. How many soldiers are here, Laphicet?
The number of exorcists in the capital? At least 1,000. And 2 divisions of guards.
I'd expect no less from the capital. They're not careless. They're covered.
We need transit documents.
See how the citizens smile? To think they were fleeing from demons just a few years ago.
To hold an observance of this scale shows just how much peace their power has brought.
A piece paid for with Laffy's.
Velvet?
Listen to those cheers. The royals sure have these folks in line.
Subjects, may I have your attention? It is I, Percival Asgard, Crown Prince of the Midgard Empire. His Majesty, my father, and I are pleased to celebrate with you on this auspicious day.
The ceremony started.
It'll be impossible to slip in now.
After the opening 10 years ago, our kingdom faced an existential threat, both from demons and the terrible spread of demon blight. However, one man raised a miraculous sword and stood so that the body and soul of the land
Over there.
would not be lost.
You can climb up if you want, but attacking now would
And
be
the
suicide.
name of that man was Artorius Colbrand!
Artorius! 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 Artorius!
None here, I trust, are unfamiliar with Artorius' noble act. To bring us salvation from demons, he sacrificed everything.
But he's a murderer.
He called Lord Inominat one of the 5 Empyreans and blessed us with the strength of the Malachim.
But he's a murderer!
Velvet!
He serves as a shining beacon of reason in this world of turmoil. And reason is what binds us.
But you killed him! You took everything that I loved!
So raise your voices in praise to Artorius' devoted work, to the Savior who purifies evil and guides our flock. Let us call him our Shepherd!
Shepherd Artorius! Shepherd Artorius! Shepherd Artorius! Shepherd Artorius! Shepherd Artorius! Shepherd Artorius!
Even though the world was filled with suffering, I had to ask something tremendous of you all. I entrusted you to endure the pains of reason. I asked you to bind yourselves with shackles of your own will. For the only blade that can expel calamity is one forged from unshaking reason, and the iron will to do what must be done. And now that very blade stands ready, before all of us today. I offer my body and my life, in service to the people of this great land. With the blessings of the Empyrean Innominat, I will guide you to a world without calamity. And this world's suffering will be nothing but a distant memory!
But you're the one who murdered.
Fool, they'll see us.
You're the one who killed Laphicet.
What?
The Shepherd Artorias. That's who you're after?
Oh, and here I was hoping you'd just straight up pounce on him.
That would be certain death. No. I need a sword of reason and will. That's the only thing that can kill him.
Killing Lord Artorias.
Playing it safe? Boring! Regrettably, it is at this juncture we go our separate ways. I've got a bit of hunting to do.
No one's stopping you.
Goodbye.
Farewell! May your days be fruitful and your nights tormented!
If our enemy's calling himself a shepherd, he won't be going into hiding. Let's take this slowly.
The old man behind him. Melchior, I take it?
Yeah.
Let's gather information on these people. If we know what they're planning, we can find a weakness.
They're the most powerful men in the land. If we're going to look into them, we need a lead first.
Eisen, do you have any underworld contacts in the capital itself? Like your friend at the port?
I don't go inland much, I'm afraid. But Eifried has close ties to a shadow guild. A tavern in the city, run by an old man called Baskerville, serves as a front for them.
A shadow guild? Those sorts of things actually exist?
That settles it. Let's head to that tavern. They'll have food, I'm sure.
Why not?
The exorcists sure were out in full force to see the shepherd's inauguration, weren't they?
What about that guy you're after? Was he there?
What, and have to stand around looking all proper? Nah, that's not his style.
But I thought he was one of the top exorcists.
That wouldn't matter to him.
Huh. All right.
Actually, Velvet, speaking of the shepherd, I noticed he wasn't using his right arm. Was he hurt or something?
Yeah. He was badly wounded a long time ago. He lost the use of his sword arm.
That's what I figured.
But don't get the wrong idea. He's still a master swordsman with his left arm.
I can tell that from the way he moves. His movements are steady and measured, and his chi is centered below his navel.
Huh? Why does that matter?
Some people say that all the body's spiritual energy gathers in a place about 2 finger widths below the navel.
Even when he appears to be in a state of total peace, his guard is never down. He's a formidable adversary. And I think I know why my target has placed himself at Artorias' side. Because now I want to take Artorias down too.
A history book titled The Rise and Fall of Midgand. About 800 years ago, our continent was conquered by a military force from another continent. Few records exist of the following 500 years. A period known as the Era of Darkness, or the Dark Period. Then 300 years ago, a great hero named Claudin Asgard reunited the kingdom, bringing an end to the Dark Period.
Claudin, huh? Where have I heard that name before?
All right, that's enough for today.
Thanks for teaching me, Arthur. Your techniques are so amazing. Where did you learn them?
They came from my own master, a man named Claudin. He developed them himself.
Wow, they're so graceful. I wish I could move like that.
I've taught you the forms, but for some reason your execution deviates from the ideal.
Well, my body just kinda moves on its own.
You're a handful, Velvet. But I will say you do resemble Claudin some. He was a strange person himself. He always wore this peculiar cape, for instance.
Cape, you say?
Deep down, Claudin was strong like fire, vivacious like water, steadfast like earth, and free like wind. I can't help but admire him to this day.
Wow, I'd love to meet him.
Sadly, that's impossible.
Is he dead?
Yes, he is. He died to protect me. That's why
No way. The events recounted in this book happened 300 years ago. It can't be the same Claudin.
Velvet, are you okay?
I'm fine. Don't mind me.
King Claudin was quite strong, wasn't he?
He was more than just that. He's the most well-loved and trusted king in our history. Or so the book claims.
To this day, all of Midgand's rulers claim to be direct descendants of King Claudin Asgard. Knowing that, there might be meaning behind them bestowing Artorias with the grandiose title of Shepherd. I could see it as an attempt to recreate the same glory enjoyed by the Hero King who ended the Dark Period.
If that's true, it's a childish ploy. The world's not so easily changed.
I wouldn't be so sure. What matters is that the title inspires hope in the people, who in turn give him their support. Then, as their shepherd, he can guide his flock in any direction he pleases.
If Artorias knowingly accepted that title, we can be sure he's fully committed to his cause.
Oh, he's certainly committed. I've seen just how far he's willing to go.